You're listening to The Upland Rookie, a podcast presented by Upland Brits. If you want to get everything your dog's got, then you need nutrition that holds nothing back. To help unleash your dog's potential, check out the new Eukanuba Premium Performance line at eukanubasportingdog.com. Now, both my dogs have been on the Premium Performance line for a few months, the 30-20 blend, and I've loved seeing the results. Both of them are maintaining healthy weights in this off-season. Their coats are thick and shiny, and they just feel great. And their energy level, not to mention when we are out training, roading my dogs, you name it, their energy level and recovery time is fantastic. I also want to thank Dakota 283. Maybe you're getting a new puppy this year, or maybe you're looking for a new watering system for your dogs. Well, they have just the thing for you. I'm running to G3 medium for both my Brits, and the size is great. The kennel door is fantastic. The easy grip handle. I am really loving both these kennels. Also, the Dash watering system. I think I'm running the 3.0, and I literally use it every day. It comes with me on trips in hunting season, and it's also my daily watering system in the dog run. Super tough, easy to clean, holds a bunch of water. So check out the Dash system from Dakota. Now, at checkout, if you're ordering anything from Dakota 283, use my promo code TUR10 for 10% off your order. All right, what up, rookies? I'm super excited. This is episode number 1 of the Upland Rookie Podcast by Upland Brits. I looked up the definition of rookie. What does that mean? I've gotten some questions on, hey, is this podcast just for rookies? Do I have to just be getting into this? Is the content all going to be geared towards the newbie? Well, the answer is no, it is not. This podcast, I hope, is for everybody out there. You see, the definition of rookie, as I looked up online, is a new recruit or maybe someone entering their first season of a sports team. So I think this can fit a lot of different people. You might be a veteran hunter who is getting another bird dog puppy, maybe this spring or summer. Well, guess what? That puppy is a rookie. They're going to have their rookie season coming up here. Or maybe you are on the other end of the spectrum. Maybe you are just getting into upland hunting. Maybe this is the first podcast you have downloaded and you're saying, hey, this is the year I'm going to get into this. We're all rookies to some way or another. Look at myself. I've been at this hard 4 years, and there's still so much I'm constantly learning, and I don't think I will ever not be a rookie, at least in my mind. I'm always going to be asking questions to people way smarter than me, way further down the road, and just learning and soaking up as much information as I can. I hope we can all do that no matter where you are in your hunting journey and your experience with bird dogs. So with that, I'm going to get into a listener question. Let's see. D. Harriet writes in, do you use training birds in the off season? What are your thoughts on the importance? All right, 2 parts to this question. Yes, I use training birds in the off season, but I also use them during season. You heard me right. I'm pretty much using birds all year round. The importance, very, very important, I think. Birds make a bird dog. I am a firm believer in that. Now, I know not everyone has access to birds. I know it's not the easiest thing to get a hold of. I live in a suburban area. My closest hunting club is about 45 minutes away. So if you're out there and it's just a little difficult, call around, call your local trainer, call a hunting club, a preserve, just ask questions on, hey, I'm looking for some pigeons or quail or whatnot. Most people are very happy to help, at least point you in the right direction. So yes, the other thing I was going to say with training birds, when I'm going out there with birds, again, I'm trying to get my dogs on birds throughout the year, keep them sharp, keep them conditioned on how to work birds. Now, my dogs are only getting no more than 2 birds a training session. Yeah, that's right. Only 2 birds max. Sometimes they'll only get 1. If they do a great job or stellar job, I'm going to kind of call it quits and I'm going to move on to the next dog. Reason being, I think that dogs can learn a lot in that short time, and I think it leaves them wanting a little bit more. If they have a solid point, they work the wind well, I think that's good. Again, I'm saying this from my experience with a mentor of mine even. We work on birds quite a bit. And someone who's been doing this for 30 years, the buddy of mine, Jeff, he's got some amazing dogs who've really won some trials and very accomplished dogs. He's only showing his dogs 2 birds, sometimes less, sometimes 1. So again, this is my experience, what I've seen. Some other people out there might have different thoughts. Totally okay. This is just kind of my experience. So do your research. Birds are out there. Yeah, but they are very important. One more question which relates to this. Kelsey writes in, how are the pigeons doing? So Kelsey, the pigeons are doing great. For anyone listening, some friends of mine actually gave me a pigeon coop and their lot of pigeons just in the last month or so. And yeah, the pigeons are doing great. I'm very excited to have my own coop and be raising some homing pigeons. It'll, I think, really be a nice addition to my training arsenal. So yeah, Kels, the pigeons are doing great. I got a couple eggs right now that they're laying on. So yeah, life is good. Can't complain. But anyways, feel free to write in with questions. My email, uplandbrits@gmail.com, or you can message me on Instagram at upland_Brits. And that's BRITTS. Okay, on episode number 1, we are talking with Jeremy Lowry. Now, Jeremy and I have had a friendship for a few months now, and just there's not a day that goes by, I think at this point, that we're not interacting to some degree, just talking hunting constantly. And recently, we've been talking a lot about bird dogs and even some different breeds of dogs. So I've loved my just friendship has been developing with Jeremy. He's a great dude. We talk about a little bit of everything in this episode. We talk about his bird dog, of course. We talk about North Dakota. Is North Dakota really worth it? I've heard so much buzz around ND for the last season, and we talk about that. We talk about his past seasons, some plans he has coming up. You name it. I think this is a great episode, and I hope you enjoy the interview with Jeremy Lowry.
See, I only got into hockey because my best buddy that I live with is huge into hockey, and they're like, you don't even watch hockey? And so I just picked a random team and decided to jump on the wagon.
Okay. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
Watch a little more than every year, so yeah, maybe someday we'll have a hockey fan here.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure, dude. Well, dude, we'll just kind of jump into it. So Jeremy, put us on the map a little bit. Just where are you from, and just share a little bit about yourself.
Well, technically I'm from Michigan, but I live in Northwest North Dakota and Williston. So
okay, awesome. Did you grow up in Michigan, you said?
Yep, I moved out of Michigan when I was about 22, 23, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
If you had to pick, what do you like better, North Dakota or Michigan?
I'd have to go with North Dakota. I mean, I'd rather as a kid grow up in Michigan, but as an adult, North Dakota is the way to go.
Okay. That makes sense, Dan. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Just quick overview. Let people get to know you a little bit. Your dog. Just a little bit about who is Jeremy.
On the grand scheme of things, no one special. But I just I work a lot, and then in the fall I hunt more than I work. But that's about it. If I'm not hunting, I'm researching something about hunting, so or dogs, or
I think you and I sound very similar in that aspect.
Yeah, a lot of time on the internet.
Yeah, she's always asking me, she's like, what are you researching now? I'm like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
She'll find out when the new dog comes home or
Oh
the
yeah,
new gun.
exactly. Speaking of new guns, you actually we were talking last week, and you mentioned you got a new gun because your other one broke or something happened with it. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I picked up a 12 gauge Benelli ultralight. Was looking for something a little lighter and semi-auto because I love my over under, but the auto loader is a little better for like if I want to go jump ducks or hunt ducks or maybe if I go hunt quail or do a lot more walking, you might want something a little lighter.
Sure.
But the main reason, quiet, sorry. But no, I got the over under sorry.
No, you're good.
My Frankie's in the shop because the firing pin just wasn't working right, but I love
weird.
that gun. So,
weird.
And I've heard it's a fluke for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I've heard some things here and there with people, but I've had my Frankie over under for only a true season. No issues
Really?
so far, but I've heard everyone I talk to that has one, they love them.
Yeah, I'd buy another one in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
so
for sure. Do you shoot one or the other better? Do you think over under or semi-auto?
Well, this new one, I just shot it for the first time last weekend, and it seemed like I was hitting a lot better than I do with my other one. But I also hadn't done too much clay shooting with the over under, so it's kind of hard to tell. But
okay, that makes sense. I don't know for whatever reason. So I have the Frankie Instinct in a 20 gauge, and I can shoot that thing lights out. I love it. I feel confident with it. All that. I have a Montefeltro 12 gauge. And
oh, nice.
I don't know what it's a nice gun. It's great. It's not too heavy. I can't hit shit with it.
Really?
I really can't. I don't know if it's like I'm in my head now too much or something, but
I'm
not great.
When I bought the ultralight, I almost bought the Montefeltro silver.
Oh, okay.
It was between those two, so I almost got that one.
That's awesome. So dude, I gotta ask you about this. So you just joined Instagram probably a couple months ago, maybe? Were you totally
not
off the
even
grid?
Yeah, I was completely off the grid. And then the only reason I got on, I was watching this guy on YouTube, Northwest Wing Shooters. Pretty cool site. Definitely go check him out.
Yeah, I've seen his stuff.
I told him I wanted to hunt chalker and valley quail, and he said, well, hit me up on Instagram. And I was like, well, here we go. And so I ended up downloading Instagram, and then I ended up talking to tons of people, and people are pretty nice. I've got a couple invites here. People have sent me pins for places that I've never been to go hunt,
That's
sage
awesome.
grouse and stuff. So it's been treating me pretty good.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was going to ask if you're finding value from it right now, but it sounds like
too much. I might end up with a new dog if I'm not careful.
It can happen. It's a whole nother rabbit hole. I feel social media. I mean, there's pros and cons for sure, but pro is it'll take you down all these certain trails of like gear and dog breeds and training. There's a whole nother world of just avenues you can go. I was don't tell my wife. She'll probably listen. She'll probably listen to this later. But I've been following a bunch of like English or Irish, English setters, a bunch of pages and setters. I'm like, dang, those dogs look so nice.
Man, I've been talking to a couple people with them, and man, I want one pretty bad.
Yeah, they're pretty stylish dogs. I will say that. This is such a dumb thing, but I think we talked about this before. I love the short tail dogs in the house, man.
Me too.
I used to have Goldens growing up, and there would be.
I had labs.
Okay, so you get it. There was pasta sauce everywhere. There was drinks spilled all the time.
Yeah, somebody come over and everything's off the coffee table.
That has nothing to do with hunting, but it as a personal preference, I'm like, I don't know if I could get over that, but I'm sure I could.
On the same note, though, that tail, like, obviously you have Brittany's yourself. You get into some of that thicker cover that's out here, your dog goes on point. And I just got the Garmin this year, so I'd have to, when that bell would stop, I'm kind of just walking in blind, but with a setter, you'd have that nice high tail flag. And
and they're generally a little bit taller dog too. So you could see them quite a bit better. What Garmin did you pick up this year?
I just said screw it, and I went with the 200i.
Oh,
So
sweet, man. Good
we've been
pick.
getting her figured out this training season and see how we like it come hunting season.
Dude,
But
that's a great
I don't
pick.
know what there's.
Yeah. You went right for the Maserati.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to buy another one. So.
Yeah, no, seriously. I've been through a couple now. I started out with like just the Astro 430.
Okay.
It wasn't a training collar, it was just a tracking. And then I ran a 500 Pro 500 on him for the training. So it was kind of a dual collar setup, and it worked fine. But then just as last year, I condensed down to the 200i.
Yeah, I wanted one I could do both with. I mean, I don't have to do very many corrections with my dog out in the field, but when I do, I want to have it, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. So Jeremy, tell me a little bit about hunting in North Dakota. Because I'll be honest, I couldn't go a couple days this past season without hearing how awesome North Dakota was. So tell me a little bit about just your season. What kind of hunting do you do the most? Just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, to put it in comparison, I've been out in North Dakota going on 7 or 8 years, and my worst year here is better than my best year I've ever had in Michigan. Bird wise, even on the slow years, I mean, I'm going to see way more birds than I would hunting, you know, the rough grouse and woodcock most of the time in Michigan. So, sure. I mean, this year I spent a lot of time trying to figure out the Huns and Sharpies.
Okay.
But before this season, I stuck to the roosters, and the other birds were kind of, you know, opportunity birds. If you saw them, you were excited.
Sure.
And then this end of last season, my dad came out for opening week, and we stumbled into this field. Didn't look very good, but we're like, oh, we're going to hunt it. You know, it's almost end of shooting hours. So this bad field's better than nothing. That field turned out to be one of my honey holes for sharptails.
No way.
So yeah. And I'd never really seen them before, because I'd always, you know, was hunting cattails, sloughs, looking for roosters, and started hunting more stuff like that. And that's when I started getting into the sharptails, the Huns, and man, they're fun birds to hunt.
That's awesome. Are you seeing sharptail and pheasants kind of in the similar areas or similar fields, or totally different?
Not really. I say that because I have this one spot that's kind of like it's a slough in the middle and then short grass up on the hills. And I kind of get all three there, but that is very rare. I have no other spots like that. So You usually get the Huns where you find pheasant. Sometimes you'll get the Huns where you find sharptails, but usually you don't, for the most part, find sharptails where you find roosters.
Okay, dude. And so in Michigan, so you mentioned like woodcock. Did you hunt them much in Michigan area? Or in rough grouse?
Yes and no. In waves. Growing up, my dad would always, every Saturday, I'd get to carry the Red Ryder, Daisy, BB gun,
Here you go.
shoot chipmunks and whatnot. And I saw him shoot a couple. I personally, of all the hunting I've done in Michigan, and I never took it that serious, I've never shot a woodcock or a rough grouse. I've seen plenty flush, and, I've done a lot of hunting, but it wasn't until I got out here and whatnot that I really, really dove into upland hunting like I do now.
Sure. So growing up in Michigan, it sounds like you went out with your dad a little bit. Was hunting kind of a part of your family? Is it something you really got into later? Like how'd you get started into it? And just, did your family do it?
Not really. My dad's dad, so my grandpa, that I never met, I guess he was a huge upland hunter. And then obviously my dad, but other than that, I think I had an uncle on my mom's side that would always tell stories of hunting roosters or pheasant in Michigan. And I've only ever seen like one in Michigan that wasn't on a preserve, Oh,
sure.
But for the most part, I guess I have a hunting family.
Okay.
But I only ever really hunted with my dad. So
sure.
I can't say I hunted with my extended family or anything.
Gotcha. Now, do you do any other kind of hunting? Are you into big game, turkey, or do you just stick with upland?
I pretty much stick with upland. As a, younger years, I'd always go with my dad, and I'd help him drag deer and gut deer and that kind of stuff. This never really was my kind of thing.
Sure.
And I think it was once I got a dog, that's when it really
Okay.
really took off.
Okay. So my next question I was going to ask you is, like, so what was that drew you into upland hunting? I mean, it seems like you did quite a bit of hunting this past season and have for a few years. So what was it? Just explain a little bit more. Like, what was that drew you in so much?
I couldn't even tell you, but I just remember, like I said, just as a kid, those were the best weekends, Dad wake you up early and you go walk in the woods. And I moved out here, finally had my own place and some money to support a dog and whatnot. So I decided to make the jump. Always wanted a bird dog, got one. And it was just from there, it was over,
No, they have a way of sucking you in, don't they?
Oh yeah. I can't imagine hunting without a dog. I did it once this season and I was like, this isn't fun.
I'm with you on that. Did you hunt? So this past season, did you just stay in North Dakota or did you take any trips outside?
Nope. Just stayed in North Dakota this year. I might have. No, I didn't wander. Sometimes I wander over to Montana, but I didn't do that this year. It was so good here. I didn't even.
I was going to say, is it
feel
just
the need to buy a license.
Just that good?
Yeah.
Because you're pretty close to Montana, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm probably not 15 minutes from the border.
Oh, geez.
About less than an hour from Canada. So right up in that northwest corner.
Okay.
Here.
You lucky son of a gun.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about your dog a little bit. I know you run a Brittany. You just have the one, right?
Yeah, for now.
Okay. For now. So tell me a little bit about your dog. How old's your dog? Did you do all the training yourself or did you have someone train it? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, she's about to be 5 in July. She's my first. Well, we had a lab growing up that wasn't very good hunter, but she's my first personal bird dog. And yeah, I wasn't really into dog training all that much. I kind of just trained her in the field because I figured, well, in 4 months I spend more time in the field than not in the field,
That's
so
true.
I figured we'll just make corrections in the field. I've learned that's not the best way to do it. It definitely works, if you have the time and a couple of years to, work out all those kinks. But
Sure.
I've just recently started getting more into the dog training and kind of backstepping to correct the things I messed up, not doing your formal training. But
sure. So you really just kind of put her down in the field as a pup and just kind of let her figure things out.
Yeah, looking back, I had her started way too early. I think I started her at
We got lucky though.
Man, 12 weeks. I mean, she couldn't even walk through the grass. She'd walk behind my feet. And I remember never introduced her to guns or anything and shot that first bird. And ever since I went and grabbed it, she followed me. I gave it to her. And ever since then, she was just like, oh, boom means bird. So, but I don't recommend that.
Right. I was going to say, you definitely got lucky there, but that's cool. She figured it out. What's her name?
Penny.
Penny. Oh, nice. I used to have a dog named Penny as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, good name.
Yeah.
My grandpa had boxers when I was growing up, and his favorite dog was named Penny. So I was like, I'm gonna continue that with one of mine, but I don't have her anymore. But it was another.
Right on. Yeah, I actually didn't name her. I had a girlfriend at the time, and it's kind of a funny story. I wanted a bird dog, didn't know. So, and we decided we'd get a dog, and I told her we can get a setter, we can get a Brittany, or we can get a wire hair. And she went with the Brittany because it was small and cute, and she got to pick the name of the dog. And now we're not even together, so I have a Brittany named Penny, which is probably better because I probably would have named it something stupid at the time, like whiskey or
sure.
Jagger
looking back, it worked out.
Yeah,
dude, that's hilarious. I was going to ask you why a Brittany. So was a Brittany something did you know about a Brittany prior? Like, what attracted you to that breed?
They just seem like their personalities. I remember as a kid, my buddy had one and they didn't hunt with it, but I always thought it was such a cool dog. I mean, I expected my Brittany to be bigger. I'm not going to lie. I kept holding out that she was going to grow.
Yeah.
She never did. So, but no, I love red dogs. Something about that red color.
And I've seen pictures
written all over it.
Yeah. She's pretty. She has that orange red color around a lot of her body, right? If I remember right. That's pretty cool.
She's out there barking at the neighbors right now.
So how small is she?
I think she's like 21 at the shoulder and about 28, 29 pounds.
Okay.
So she's not very big.
Yeah, I know we were talking about this last week, I think. And my French Brittany, he's about 31, maybe 32 pounds now. He's only 9 months. But yeah, it sounds like they're actually pretty similar in size.
Yeah, it sounds like it might even be a little bigger than mine.
I know. That's crazy. And I've had to get used to just the size difference because my oldest dog Gage, he's the American Brittany. He looks like a giant compared to the younger French Brittany.
Oh yeah.
But he's only 40 pounds. He's pretty lean and muscular. And but yeah, standing next to each other, I'm like, my God, you're a giant.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was getting was a 35, 40
Sure.
pound. But I either got the runt or something. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't trade her. She's a great dog. So.
Oh yeah, and you said 5 years old, right? So she's getting in. I mean,
Yep,
she's
just about 5.
She's prime right now. She's prime for bird hunting.
Yeah, she really turned on that switch this year, hunting for sure. Everything just seemed to click.
Oh, for sure. Did you hunting this year? I mean, hunting as much as you did you find was she getting kind of burnt out towards the end of the season, or was she still going?
She would. I mean, she was going, but that's why I'm saying I need another dog because I did feel she was pretty ratted and beat up. It wasn't bad when we were hunting, like every weekend. But
Sure.
like I'd have friends come out or my parents and we'd hunt all week and hunt her, and that's a lot on a dog. I don't care how in shape they are,
Oh, totally.
But we definitely had to patch her up a couple times.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think she went to the vet 2 or 3 times for different cuts. And
geez.
The second to last week of pheasant season, we're on our way home. We'd hit our limit of hunts and 2 roosters, which was one of the best days I had this season for the amount of time I hunted.
Sure.
And she actually had a seizure in my back seat on the way back to town.
Way. Oh my
which
gosh.
turned out to be a hypoglycemic episode from just not burning more calories than they had. So she'd skipped breakfast. She had breakfast, but didn't eat, was excited. And
sure,
I probably should have paid more attention to it, but
wow, that's scary, man.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. Jeez. Everything turned out fine, but
yeah, the
vet said she's healthy. So
okay, good. Did you? I mean, in that moment, did you do anything for her, or did you just kind of just go right to the vet?
Hit the gas pedal. Yeah, I had to turn the vet. I pulled over for a second because I wasn't sure. Got out and she fell off my back seat, and now she's gonna be riding in a kennel because after that she was in the back seat and she fell off, kind of got stuck under the seat,
Oh, geez.
Well seasoned, and it would have been a lot better just to have her in her,
sure,
kennel or whatever. But
yeah, exactly, man. Gosh, that's scary. I'm always thinking about that kind of stuff. Whenever I'm looking at a couple out of state trips this year, and I'm already kind of researching. All right, where's the closest vet to this area?
Yeah,
just because
it's important.
Crap can happen out there. I mean, whether it's if you're hunting early season, like. Have you ever ran into rattlesnakes at all or anything like that?
Personally, I've never ran into them out here. I don't know if I hunt far enough south of the river. I mean, I'm sure they're up here too, but I hear south of the river here is where you really run into them. I have a buddy who's 6 or 7 month old setter was bit by one. By the time they got back to town, though, he'd given it some Benadryl. By the time they got back to town, it was pretty much done swelling and
oh wow.
Everything. I mean, obviously he still took it to the vet and whatnot, but
yeah, no, that's scary, man. These dogs are going 100 miles an hour out there, and things can happen.
Yeah.
I've never had an incident with barbed wire, but have you ever came across any issues with barbed wire in your dog?
Oh yeah.
Really?
She's gotten really good at it, but even the best bird dogs, I swear they catch it sometimes. I had to not super glue. I had EMT gel. I had to glue her up a couple times, and she went to the vet once to get it flushed out and glued up. But yeah, every now and then nothing's tougher than a bird dog, though.
Oh yeah, and they want to keep going. They're like,
yeah,
put me in, coach.
My dog could break a leg, and I swear she'd be upset if I put her in the truck to take her home.
Oh, 100%. She'd be like, there's still birds out there. Why aren't we going that way?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. So you mentioned you want to get another bird dog. A couple questions around that. When And are you going another Brittany?
Hopefully in a year or so. I don't really want to get one for this coming season because I plan on doing some traveling, and I don't really want to be training a puppy out in the field again. So maybe next spring would be a good time. But and as far as a Brittany, I wouldn't rule it out, but I do kind of want to try others, experience. But I'm sure I'll probably come full circle back to a Brittany, even if I don't, even if the next one's not a Brittany, because I love them.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm definitely a Brittany loyalist. I'll probably always have at least one Brittany, but
exactly.
I wouldn't be opposed to other breeds out there because there's some great dogs out there. There's some great dogs.
I know. I was watching this guy on Instagram with Gordon setters, and man, those things are cool.
Oh, Gordon. I don't know if I've seen a Gordon setter.
Yeah, they're black and gold, and they look just like an English setter, but a little bit bigger, I believe.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
But they're kind of hard to get. The guy I talked to, and that's what I'm saying about Instagram being dangerous. I was talking to a guy. He's like, "Well, I got a 5-year wait list for a Gordon." And I was like, "Geez."
Oh my gosh.
I almost committed to something 5 years away.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing in 5 years.
Yeah. Well, might be having a Gordon setter. Who knows?
Exactly. Get on that list, man.
Sign up for a dog and then forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, oh yeah, I have that dog coming in 2 weeks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned to me you're doing a field trial with with Penny this summer. Is that right?
Yeah, I had a buddy. He's got some really good dogs. He's got a setter and a wire hair, and he talked me into it. He's like, whether you think she can do, and I'm sure she can do fine. She'll do fine. I don't know if she'll necessarily place or anything, but we're going to work hard and see what we can do. But yeah, we're going to try to run a couple of Nastra trials in May.
That's awesome, dude. You excited?
Yeah, it'll be a learning experience, I'm sure.
That's great.
Just like everything else with a dog.
Oh, sure. It's all like trial by error.
Yeah, exactly.
How is she at retrieving? Is she a pretty natural retriever, or what does she do?
Yeah, which is crazy because as a puppy or, her whole life, I can throw toys all day long and she won't bring anything back to me, let alone even go fetch it. But if we're out hunting, she's going to find that bird and she's going to bring it back. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that was all natural. Like I said, I didn't really train her to do that. She just did it.
Are you doing any kind of prep work with her leading up to the trial, or do you feel comfortable where she's at that she's going to do just fine?
No, we've been working on, my buddy's been helping me work on steadiness, and I never taught her to heel. So we've been working on, basic stuff like that. But
sure.
I mean, she's learning so fast. She's a smart dog, and even 5 years old, that I think she's learning faster than she would have as a puppy, honestly. But
that's awesome. It sounds like, you guys built that. I mean, 4 or 5 years of trust, and she knows you, you know her, and you guys kind of know what to expect out of each other.
Yeah.
So that's huge. This coming season, I mean, we're in spring of 2021 already. What are you kind of looking forward to this coming fall?
A lot of stuff. I don't even know if I'll be able to fit it all in, but I definitely want to go try and find some sage grouse in Wyoming or South Central Montana for sure.
Nice.
And then obviously, I want to try to go down to Arizona as well and try to chase some of them quail I hear they got down there.
Yeah. That's something you and I are doing together, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so.
I think we're on the same week. So I'm really pumped for that. Never hunted Arizona, so it'll be definitely a new experience.
I've never even been to Arizona, so
yeah, same. Hey, give me 1 second here. I'm gonna edit this part out. I just gotta tell someone to shut up real fast.
Oh yeah. I've been fighting that with my dog all day.
Holding tight for dogs, I think, because my youngest, this will be his kind of first season coming up. So I know it's in January, it's kind of tail end of the season, but I'm excited to get him on some more quail, get him on some of those big coveys, and I think it'll be a blast. We'll have what, 3 Brittany's down there between just the 2 of us.
Yep, that'll be fun.
That'll be awesome.
Plus, it's North Dakota in January. It's pretty cold, so it'll be a nice little vacation break.
I bet North Dakota's a little bit chilly.
That's probably the biggest reason to go hunt down there in January.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, it helps extend your season a little bit.
Yep.
I think South Dakota extended their season until the end of January this past year. I don't know if they'll do that again, but
North Dakota had the best winter I've ever seen out here. I mean,
pretty mild.
I think I wore a jacket, a handful of times out hunting
No way.
all winter long. Yep. Right till the end of season.
Dude, that's so nice. That's so
Yeah.
nice. I do like when it's cold. Colder the better. I like it. It keeps my dogs just a little bit more fresh throughout the day.
Don't get me wrong, it was cold, but like it wasn't cold enough. It's cold enough to where I'd wear, your Under Armour and then a hoodie and your vest, and you'd be pretty good, with the amount of walking you're doing and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So
no, for sure.
But it beat negative 30.
Oh, I can only imagine. 'Cause you said you're close to Canada, aren't you?
Yeah, real close.
Golly, dude, that's crazy. Okay. I feel like we keep talking about North Dakota. It just sounds like the best place. Okay. Jump into sage grouse. Have you ever hunted sage grouse before?
Never.
Okay. What's the appeal? What's the draw for you that's going to make you want to go chase them this year?
They're big.
They're big.
Their population is doing, from what I've heard, not great, but not bad. And who knows if I'll be able to go chase them in, 30 years or whatever.
Sure.
Hopefully we can. Hopefully they make a comeback, but you never know.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, might as well hunt it now. You got your dog.
Well, you can.
Yeah. Totally.
That's my biggest thing.
Are you looking for them in Wyoming or Montana?
I got a friend in Wyoming, so I'm going to try Wyoming. If that don't work out, maybe we'll scoot up to Montana, or maybe we'll hit Montana on the way to. I haven't quite figured out the logistics of it all, but either or, wherever I find them.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I kind of in this off season, I keep a note on my phone, kind of like all the potential trips I want to take.
Yeah.
But it's like, and I'll try to match it with like our family's calendar, and just like I try to like put dates to things. It's overwhelming to commit to things, because if I commit to this trip, then I might be missing out on this trip. It's hard.
I'm pretty lucky in that aspect. I mean, my boss knows that in the summertime I'll work whenever you want, but come fall I get off pretty much anytime I want, and it's just me, no family, so I can pretty much get wherever I need to be whenever I want to be there. So
for sure, that helps.
It works out pretty good.
That helps a lot. Yeah, we have a bunch of kiddos, and so now a couple of the older ones are in like sports and activities, and so it's getting a little trickier. But with vacation time, and my wife's been super cool about letting me get out there. I think I'll definitely be able to do a few extended trips this year.
Heck yeah.
North Dakota's on my list. Montana is definitely on my list. I think I'm going to head up in August and scout in Montana for a little bit. I'm actually going to bring my kids, make a little camping trip.
That'd be fun.
And then go back up there in September with the dogs. Really want to just get into the Huns and Sharpies up there.
Yeah, for sure. Huns are fun. So are Sharpies. Hun's my favorite bird for sure.
Is it?
Yeah, because I know nothing about them. I think I know something about them, but I know nothing.
Do they just fool you?
Yeah, they don't always seem to have like a rhyme or reason. Like roosters and sharptail, they kind of stick to what they like, but Huns kind of just like do what they want. I don't really know how to describe it, but
kind of do their thing.
I don't believe there's a such thing as a Hun, particularly Hun hunting. Like,
okay,
you'll find Huns hunting other things, but like they're really hard to just plan a trip on just partridge themselves.
So you're coming across them more so by accident.
I like to think I'm doing it on purpose, but most of the time I find them, it's like, I did not think you would be here.
Gotcha. So give me a couple of scenarios. Like, where are you finding them then?
Geez. Sometimes you'll find them whenever you get like cattails that are like right up along like a wheat field or some kind of stubble field. Usually they're out, just not in the thick stuff. They'll be out in the stubble, but kind of close enough to that cover that like they could go hide, I'm guessing, if they wanted to. Or a lot of fence rows, like it's stuff like you find them in fence rows, or I feel like they like the not so thick stuff. They like to be able to move around, I'm guessing.
Okay.
But yeah, I kind of find them a little bit of everywhere. So
that's gotta be fun though, because it probably keeps it fresh, and it's kind of a surprise for you when you come across them.
Oh yeah, every time. There's nothing like a cubby, man.
Yeah,
it's the best.
That's awesome. If you had to pick, so you said, is that your favorite bird to hunt, or if you had to pick roosters, sharpies, huns, quail, what's your absolute favorite?
Huns.
Okay.
They've got to be. I think it's because they avoided me for so long. My years out here, I think not this last season, but the one before was the first season I ever actually got one, and I chased them. After I seen one for the first time, I probably chased them for like 2 years and never got one. And one weekend, my dad was here in North Dakota, and we ran into these two guys from Oregon, and they pulled up next to our truck, and we were walking back to our truck, and we seen them. And so that next day we met up with them, and my dog wasn't very good at pointing at that time or any of that. I could never get close enough to him. And then he had this really good Luland setter, English setter, but fancy, I guess. I don't know.
But Llewellyn setter?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, well, we seen some like 100, 150 yards out. He's like, oh, you never got one? I was like, no, never got close enough. He goes, oh, just follow me. And we just kind of did a loop. We were real quiet. And his dog locked up. He let me walk up there and flush him for him. And man, ever since then, it's been game on those guys.
That's awesome. So yeah, I got to ask. Fun. So I've never hunted huns. Is it pretty easy to distinguish them between a sharptail and or a hen pheasant?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're much smaller.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy. And usually with the sharptails, you don't usually see pheasants around. And the way I tell them apart is, one, they make this weird like laughing sound when the sharptail does when they fly away.
I learned that last year. Yeah,
and they got the white bellies. So if it's white, it's going down.
Yeah, that's funny. So last September I went up to Sand Hills in Nebraska and chased.
I want to go there too.
Chase some sharptail, and I heard about this laugh that they do, kind of this cackling laugh. And honestly, I was like, it's probably something different. I know. I just didn't believe it. But sure enough, those things, they laugh at you every stinking time.
Some days they are just hard to hit too. And I don't know why. They're not like, they're fast, but they're not crazy fast, like.
Yeah. I didn't think they were overly fast at all.
They give me a run for my money sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
They've definitely made me look dumb before.
I think every bird has made me look dumb at times.
Oh yeah.
We were end of the season. We a couple buddies and I did a trip to Nebraska, just roosters and quail. And first time I saw a quail covey rise, and there was probably 6 or 7 maybe that flushed. By the time my buddy took 2 or 3 shots, another guy took a couple shots. I'm just getting my gun up. And I'm like, where'd the quail go?
Yeah.
They were that quick.
Yeah, I think huns are a little bit slower than that, but they're still pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to hunt quail. That's going to be a good time.
Yeah, I'll be stoked. I'm kind of excited that we're doing that towards the end of the season, because I think the dogs will be hopefully in good condition wise, and they'll tolerate some of the warmer temps pretty well.
Oh yeah, hopefully, right?
Yeah, I think they'll be good. It'd
be nice having some other people there to swap out dogs too.
That's true. I mean, at least if someone brings a dog or two, I mean, that should be quite a bit of dog power.
Yeah.
Which will be nice.
Even just short breaks for a dog in between does a lot,
Totally. That's going to be a long drive for you, man. North Dakota to Arizona.
Yeah, I make the drive back to Michigan quite a bit, to my hometown, which is it's got to be 1,300 miles. So it's a little bit further than that, but okay. I mean, I'm used to making that one, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'll probably stop in Colorado about halfway. And so
that'll be awesome.
It'll definitely be a drive though.
Oh yeah, for sure. gotta break it up in chunks a little bit.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
No doubt.
What about North Dakota? I know we keep coming back to this. What about North Dakota, in your opinion, just makes it such a special place to hunt? What is it about it?
One, I think it gets overlooked. So I don't think you get, like, obviously you still get a lot of tourist hunters, but I don't think you get near the number like say South Dakota, you know. And I guess I shouldn't say that. I've never been to South Dakota, but anytime you see a video or an article,
it's all South Dakota.
It's always South Dakota.
Yeah, Aberdeen.
And that's fine. They can all go down there. That works for me, you know. But up here, it's like they have that law where, you know, if it's not posted, you can hunt it. So you're not limited to limited to plots, WMAs, WPAs. I mean, if there's not a sign, or, you know, every quarter mile, or, you know, you got to do your research, make sure it's not posted. You want to keep landowners happy and whatnot, but if it's not posted, you can hunt it. So that opens up that much more, when I think only like 9% of North Dakota's public, you know. So
wow, that's incredible. I heard about that this past season. I'm like, that's like unheard of. I haven't heard of any other state that does that. I'm sure there are, but
it's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
That's awesome. I don't know if there are anymore. I really don't think so, but there might be.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Most of my hunting I'm doing in northeast Colorado. There's a small chunk up there that's decent for pheasants, and then Nebraska has been the most of my hunting. And Nebraska, I mean, they're good. They have quite a bit of walking access land, and it's been really nice up there.
You ever hunted the prairie chickens up there?
Not in Nebraska. I chased them only 2 days in Kansas this past season. Kick my butt.
Yeah.
We put in so many miles chasing those chickens. Never even saw one.
That's another one on the list.
Oh, for sure. I was picking some spots that I thought looked pretty good, and but just no dice this year. Yeah,
they kind of like the same thing as a sharptail, right? Pretty much.
Or yes and no.
Really.
I don't know a ton about them, to be honest. It's a little bit more, like kind of short grass prairies. I've even heard like some like cattle grazing land. They like that stuff. So I didn't.
That's kind of where I find a lot of partridge, is where they graze cattle. I seem to find a lot there, especially if it's real hilly for some reason. Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Nebraska Slam Challenge?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so it's you have to harvest 4 species in Nebraska. You take a photo of each bird, you post it to this website. It's put on through like the Nebraska Game and Parks.
Okay.
And so everyone who does, you have to fill out the form for all 4 birds, and then you go into a drawing, and they have like a couple like shotguns they give away and some crazy prizes. But yeah, what
are the 4 birds?
So it's bobwhites, roosters, sharptail, and prairie chicken.
And right on. Yeah, and you did that, or?
So I missed the prairie chicken.
Oh, so, man.
Yeah, I got my sharptail, bob, and rooster, but no dice on those chicken.
Dang. Yeah,
that's kind of a bummer. All right, dude. I was going to ask some kind of rapid fire questions for you, but I think you've answered most of them already. You already said if it wasn't a Brittany, you'd be getting a setter.
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, have you looked at breeders already, or
I've talked to some people for sure.
Okay.
It'd be nice to get on a wait list now, you know.
Oh, totally. Get on that 5-year wait list.
Yeah, exactly. Well, about 5 years would be about perfect time for a third dog, you know?
Oh, 100%. Third, I mean, we're talking like 4th or 5th now.
Yeah.
5 years down the road.
Oh, they're coming.
What gun would you be carrying into the field if you could choose any gun? Gauge, make, and model.
Oh, shoot. I'm pretty partial to my Franke over under 12 gauge. I've been looking at some old 16s. Just, I don't know if it's nostalgic or what, but I gotta at least try. I want to try one of those. So,
nice. That's awesome.
But who knows?
Which would you prefer, a solo hunt with just you and your dog, or a group hunt with maybe 2 or 3 buddies?
I really like my solo hunts. They always seem, for some reason or another, to do the best. It's like whenever you take a buddy out, you'd be like, oh, this is my prime spot. Won't see a single bird, you know? But like, it seems like whenever it's just you and the dog, things go the way you want them to. No one to disrupt and I like hunting with other people, but
sure,
I like my solo hunts for sure.
That's awesome. Very similar in that aspect. You already answered favorite bird species to hunt. I think that you're a hun guy through and through, it sounds like.
Yeah, I like them.
That's awesome. So last question for you, Jeremy. If there is someone, say a new hunter, listening to this podcast, what's something, maybe advice or encouragement that you would share with them? Someone that's maybe they want to get started in upland hunting. They want to get a bird dog. Maybe they're just getting started. What's something you would just share with them as they're entering into this crazy journey?
Probably that, people are nicer than you think, and find someone maybe on, social media that's in your area. You see them posting these pictures, maybe just shoot them a message, because I'm sure if someone, now my phone will blow up, but I'm sure if someone did that out here, I'd be more than happy to take out somebody new and show them, and I think there's a lot of people like that out there, especially right now with this, seems like conservation and getting new people hunting seems to be a huge message right now. And there's a lot of people willing to help, and they just like, who are these people that want to hunt but can't,
Yeah.
So seek someone out that's already doing it. That's really the best advice I can give you.
Dude, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I think you're spot on. People are willing to help. If you reach out and ask and say, hey, I want to learn, I want to, gain some knowledge in this, I think people are definitely willing to lend a hand.
Oh, absolutely. I try to take a couple of new people whenever I can. So
that's awesome. Hey, how can people get a hold of you if they have questions or want to talk bird hunting, talk dogs? What's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Probably just Instagram. I think it's ND Upland Hunter.
ND.
I just made it not that long ago. So
you are ND_Uplander.
Boom. There we go.
got it right in front of me here.
Yeah. Perfect.
That's awesome.
You know it better than I do.
I know, right? Well, dude, I'm really looking forward to hearing about your field trial in June. Hopefully it goes well with you and Penny.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll be talking a lot more as the season gets closer. And
for sure.
September is 100 and maybe 40-ish days away as of the day we're recording this. So I am counting down the days till September.
Perfect. Hopefully me and Penny see you guys out in the field then. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I mean, if for sure see you in Arizona, but if not sooner, maybe up in North Dakota or Montana.
Yeah, I'll meet you halfway in Montana. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're like, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Well, cool. Jeremy, thanks so much for your time. And we'll be talking to you more soon. All right.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Absolutely. Take care, brother.
You too.
Well, I hope you enjoyed episode number 1 with Jeremy Lowry. I love talking with him, getting to hear a little bit more about his dog Penny and some of his hunting plans coming up this fall. Even talking about his second dog and all those things. Loved this conversation. Jeremy, thank you. Remember, if you enjoyed this episode, please do me a favor. Share it on social media, tag at the Upland Rookie Podcast, and also at Upland_Brits. Lastly, if you would rate and review this on Apple Podcasts, that would mean the world to me. If you think it is worthy of 5 stars, please give it 5 stars and also leave a little review. It would mean the world to me and also help get the podcast out there to more people. Remember, if you are not lucky enough to hunt with a Brittany, any bird dog is better than none. I'm just messing. I love all bird dogs. I had to try it. I had to poke a little fun. Again, just my personal preference. Don't send me hate mail. All bird dogs are great. Take care.